RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, the shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpion, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do is Shutterworth the guy, aka the GOAT artist, aka LB Lauderdale Boss, aka Soul Wars creator, nigga, RingGangRadio.com. In the building. Yes, sir, we back.
Yes, sir, we are back, man. You know, and as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
I just felt like beatboxing in this bitch. What up?
Razel, hold on, Bismarcky.
You already know who this is, you know what I'm saying? Your boy King P, Bodega Box in the building. And Ring Gang got what you need, so fuck with us.
Hey, Bodega P, you know, straight from the sewer. And as always, man, I believe this is your day off, man. You know, so no fighting. You know, niggas that control rats, or no altercations with niggas, who have masks on, carry hockey sticks, all that shit, right?
No,
right?
No hockey sticks, no rats, no nothing today. So
that's what it is, man. And as always, man, we salute you for your service, man, keeping our streets safe. And last but certainly not least, I got my last man, to speak on it. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Conscious Pilot, aka Pilot, aka the West Coast Avenger and number one contender, representing Ring Gang Radio. Let's get it.
That's what I'm talking about. I like that. That was smooth too. It flowed like water, bro. I can dig it. You know what I'm saying? Elevate.
Yeah, that was on the money. You were right on currency with that pilot talk.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this nigga sound like he ready for his spin-off already. Like, hold on.
I'm saying, that shit was smooth, bro. Like,
we getting in shape.
Yeah, me and Pat gonna have to talk now. Hold on.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta put you to work.
That new guy's been impressing. He been doing his thing. Hold on. Might have to fast track him.
You know what I'm saying?
Next week he gonna be introducing us. Like, oh shit, this the pilot hour.
Yeah.
Give me a Joey Spencer push, y'all.
Joey Spencer push.
We're entering turbulence. We have some fisticuffs to discuss. So how y'all doing out there?
Oh shit. But I dig that intro, man. Like, give him a couple of weeks now, and bam, he's on the money though. That's what we like to see though. People distinguishing themselves. So yeah, we have plenty to talk about tonight. And first thing we're gonna talk about is arguably the best fight of this past weekend, and the most surprising of the fights as well. I'm talking about Jamel Herring defending his WBO super featherweight title for the third time against Carl Frampton. Now, like as we talked about in the preview, like this fight had like the aura where both guys were like, if they lost, it would probably be the end of the line for them, which was kind of like dimming the enthusiasm of the fight, even though we all thought it should be a good fight on paper, or it should be a decent fight at least. But the fight itself was, I think it was a little bit surprising to me. Like, I was talking to LB during the thing, is like, it seemed like Herring decided that he was gonna peak. He peaked the fuck out in this fight. Like, this is his signature win. Like, I mean, in this
definitely. A lot of people be having signature wins over Frampton.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, you're right. It's like in this one. I mean, first it was Warrington, and then it's like, I guess we could say LSC, but it wasn't. LSC wasn't as impressive as Warrington was. Warrington, was like.
You know what it is? Because LSC doesn't have another like dope win.
Yeah.
See, at least Warrington, he got the Lee Selby win too. Like
he do, yeah, and that was impressive as hell.
And let's see, like Frampton really makes his career because Leo Santa Cruz he had too many what we used to like meaningless fights.
Yeah, too many WWF superstars ass fights. So I mean, yeah, that is a signature win, but it wasn't like Warrington. Warrington beat the shit out out of Frampton. But this one, I didn't expect. I mean, fun thing too is like Herring has more punching power than Warrington. But honestly, I didn't expect to see what I saw from like Herring. Like Herring put it all together. Like when bruh used his size, he used his height advantage.
So, hold on, let me ask you. I'm sorry, man. Like you was legit surprised like that, cause
Yes,
me personally, I was more shocked at Valdez, KO, and Burchell than Herring Frampton. Like that shit. Like I didn't really expect that.
That's a given considering the circumstances. So,
but
Herring, I felt like he always had a good chance. Even though I didn't pick him, it just the size and everything and the reach, the physicality. Like he had a lot of shit in his favor. Where if a knockout or he dropped Frampton or something, I can expect it. You know why I can expect? Because like I think they had like I think 18 different special bouts for the betting. They had shit like Frampton gets off the canvas once to win.
Mm-hmm.
Herring gets off the canvas once. So I'm like, damn. So they knew people was gonna get dropped in this shit.
Yeah, but I think it was just more surprising to me because Herring is not. We've mentioned this on previous. I always thought Herring was shaky as champion, not just from his last fight, but I always thought just how he fought. Like he was always like, he could actually be knocked out at any given time. Although he's solid, his fundamentals are absolutely solid.
Because that's the thing, he doesn't box confidently. Even against Frampton, it felt like he was holding back, or he was like, Because there was times where I felt like Frampton landed a few good overhands, and I'm like, damn, if that was like an Oscar Valdez or somebody who could really snap that shot, who's like, who could really, throw that shot with some more torque on it, they could, really do something. Like, I feel like Herring was almost a little too, like, I won't say passive, but like,
to your point,
damn.
To your point, Pat, where you were saying like you always felt like Herring was a little struggle. I feel like unfortunately, I always feel like the Shafikov fight is like burned in people's ingrained minds when we come to Herring. We can never really let go of that struggle fight right there, and ever since then, it's followed him since.
Yeah, no, but you're absolutely right too. Because I remember like I watched that shit in a strip club, and I was like, God damn, Shafikov is really beating the crap out of him. Like, that shit was like it was like one-sided almost. Like,
but hold on, but Shafikov ain't no scrub though. Like Shafikov is actually good.
Yeah, and I know he's tough though, but it was just like it wasn't like it was back and forth. It was like Herring had literally like in comparison to his recent fights, like Shafikov was.
We know he's far from a bum. He's a tough ass fighter. I'm just saying that was kind of one of those bad performances that follows people and like you never really get it out of your head. You always kind of just lingers there. You remember it.
Right.
Yeah, I feel you, but I just feel like even the performances afterwards, he's never looked like great or lights out or anything. Like it's always, I don't want to say struggle because the skills are there.
I think
he does enough to get by.
He does.
That's a better because this is not workman like.
Not the bare minimum, but he doesn't bring it that extra level. This fight, obviously, it seemed like he used his advantages to he used his advantages to how he's supposed to. Like he had the height, he had the reach advantage. He can't, Frampton had a hell of a time trying to get in and couldn't really get in.
Because even then, he could have been more aggressive. Like, think about it. If that was Amir Khan in there, we would have had like 60 punches around until the stoppage.
Like, he definitely used his height advantage, and it definitely it's good to see tall fighter because this day and age it seems like a lost art of the dude that be having like at least a 4 to 5 height advantage. He never uses it. Obviously he was getting tagged a little bit on the inside, but he stayed composed, and obviously I think he had the cut, right? He got cut.
Yeah, he had the cut on his right eye too, and I was like,
that shit was getting worse too.
Yeah. It was getting worse, so he definitely.
I didn't even see what caused it. I was like it just came out of nowhere. I just noticed. He's cut. I didn't even.
Yeah, no. People were saying that it was a butt that did it.
I kept seeing the punch. I never even saw the head, but.
Yeah, I don't see a head. I didn't see a headbutt. But I was like, I didn't see the punch that did it. I'm like, where did that come from?
It's almost a foot in difference. How you gonna see a headbutt?
Did they play it back? Did they actually show how it got?
No, they
No,
didn't.
really?
I remember I asked a question on the Ring Gang Twitter, and everyone was saying that it was a butt. You know,
I
and-
ain't
I
seen
did not see a headbutt at all. So I don't know. What
Yeah,
the-
it might have been a shot. It might have been. But either way, I mean, for him to weather the storm and get Frampton out of there. I mean, like I think me and people thought it was gonna be a fucking boring ass decision for Herring, but
I thought it was going to be a snooze fest. And
I mean, it definitely exceeded expectations. So we'll see what happens next for him.
oh yeah, it definitely exceeded. I mean, in the fifth
Hell
round,
yeah.
like for the first knockdown when they do extension and Herring, corked that straight left that dropped him. I was like, okay. I mean, Herring gets knocked down fighters. So that's not overly surprising. Like if he's capable of knocking down fighters, he's done it plenty of times. But it was round 6 where he gave himself a highlight. Uppercut season never fails. It's always like uppercut season. Like ever since we came up with the term, and we came up with the term.
Yeah, because I wasn't saying that shit before.
Yeah. I mean, it's wonderful to see the uppercut having its renaissance. In the sport, it's like people love using the uppercut again, and Herring's was swift too. Like it was thrown like I was like, because 1 minute they were exchanging, and then Herring throws the uppercut, and it hit right on the point of the chin. Like it was swiftly thrown. Like it wasn't like
The uppercut was swift, but the knockdown was slow. Because I felt like Frampton felt like a tree or some shit. Like I've never seen a short guy fall so long.
You know how he
Weird.
you know how he felt like Mike Jones did after Randall Bailey hit him with that counter uppercut.
Who?
Mike Jones.
That uppercut froze him. Like
That knock. It was like a weird, like awkward knockdown. It was like, and then it kind
Sub-Zero uppercut. It's like he froze, and it's like when you fall, that's when you shatter the ice pieces and shit. Like,
delayed reaction fall down.
I don't think it was. I think the uppercut knocked him out on his feet. that's the.
I don't even think he was knocked out. I don't even think he was knocked out. It was like Frampton took that shit in a way. Like,
Well, I mean, when the uppercut landed, his arms dropped and he froze. Like I mean, because usually when people don't freeze like that unless they're out of it.
and then the canvas woke him up again.
Yeah, the canvas woke him up though. But yeah,
it seemed like it was a balance, like because he was lunging in for a shot. It seemed like right, so like it was just Herring seemed to time that uppercut, at the right time where it seemed like Frampton was coming in. And then uppercut just gave him a good shot where, got him dropped.
Yeah, but I mean, either way, the fight was over at that point. Like Frampton got to his feet though, but then Herring showed he could finish somebody. Like, bruh, like opened up. Like,
I just hope they take advantage of it and get him into another big fight, because too many times, guys have a big fight or a big performance and then it goes to waste because they'll fight 8 months later.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like he was trying to get that Valdez fight. Definitely don't seem like Shakur's in his plans, but he seems like he wants a big money fight or get that Valdez unification popping.
Yeah,
Both fights are big though.
Yeah, no, both fights, because I mean, Valdez came from, he scored, a convincing win over where everyone had him like as the underdog, and then Herring scores a knockout over someone like Carl Frampton, who of course announced his retirement. So it's like, I mean, Herring, the sky's the limit, but now, unfortunately, there's a wrench in those plans, because now he's given the WBO ordered him to make arrangements to fight Shakur Stevenson, since Shakur is his manager.
That ain't happening. Stop. Let's talk realism.
Uncle Bob
Frank is not gonna give us a fight like that.
Uncle Bob will probably make
He's
Herring fight.
Herring's on his reverse Adrian Broner. Oh, that's little bro. In this case, it's little bro. I ain't fighting little bro.
Oh, they on that shit? Nah, I'm good.
And that's why I think too. Like, they had if it went the distance, obviously they probably would have given it to Frampton on some. They gotta make the fights that that need to happen. That's how I feel.
Nah, not if Herring would have kept dropping, dude.
True.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that was always there, dog. Like there was always a chance of that.
Yeah, though. For sure though. But it was just like, You know, I feel like Top Rank doesn't really want to deal with this because it's like unless Herring, I mean, they probably have to offer Herring a lot of money to actually go through with it. Then God knows, I mean, they ordered it so it can go to a purse bid, but
No, what's a lot of money? Because Top Rank be kind of
Uncle Bobby.
Honestly, I don't even know the average how much Herring usually gets.
Over $1 million? No way.
We'll pay you in Trident layers though.
Well, hold on, I mean, they're all on Top Rank, right? All three of those guys, Shakur, Herring, Valdez, are all basically signed under Bob, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, in a perfect world, wouldn't Bob want to make the unification fight?
In a perfect world, but this is also we live in alternate universe, Bizarro, Gamboa, Wanma world.
Fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, pretty much now either Herring. I mean, obviously either Herring takes the Shakur fight and defends his title, or the WBO strips him and Shakur gets another vacant title fight against the number 2.
Oh, jeez, like yo, man.
Although surprisingly, I mean, not surprisingly, in some ways, everybody's kind of upset at Shakur about this. They feel like he's blocking unifications when he didn't have well, you didn't have unifications at 126, and now you want to block other people's unifications at 130.
And then, well, I mean, we can blame WBO because the WBO has a silly rule where the champion can give up their belts, and if they go to the other division, they're instituted as number 1, which is.
I honestly don't think that's a terrible rule, but
Yeah, I don't either. Like,
I can see why somebody wouldn't like that rule.
I feel like the WBO is basically the top rank whatever division belt. It seems like
It is.
It is right, basically. So
like
I mean,
PBC with the regular
PBC,
WBA titles.
Yeah. I mean, WBO is in bed with 2 people. If it's not Bob Arum, it's Frank Warren.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but
We're Bob's organization.
Yeah. Bob's organization.
What did you say?
Organization. Like there was so many of them going on back in the day. Like
Yeah, so that's why it's a rarity for them. Like when WBO belts get away from Bob, like I said, usually it's a big thing.
yeah, like the Castano fight.
Yeah, that one wasn't supposed to happen.
That shit was like hyped up like Avengers movie. Like the gem was the Power Stone was just floating out there. We're like waiting for it.
Yeah, whenever a PBC fighter has a WBO belt, I'm like, wow, like I'm not used to this. Like
exactly.
Seeing Fulton at 122 with the WBO belt, I'm like, really?
Yeah, I mean, right now, PBC has three WBO belts and Top Rank has 5. So the number is moving up close. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I personally, I don't mind either fight though. But but like you guys, I definitely see Herring probably letting go of the belt. But I don't think he's gonna get the Valdez fight if he lets go of that belt, which is another thing.
Well, no, yeah, and I mean,
the appeal of that goes away. The appeal of that fight goes. I mean, kind of goes away with when we don't have a unification because we want them to unify. Something that 130 doesn't do often.
Never, yeah. Right.
I mean, this is the thing. Like, there's 2 things at work. One is we all want to see Shakur Stevenson in a decent fight already.
Yeah, I want to see him.
Exactly.
So I don't mind if he has to fight Herring, but if Herring don't want the fight, then give me Herring, Oscar Valdez, Herring, Tanks, somebody.
We need that. Yeah, and most likely it'll be Valdez, right? I mean, just because they're under the same umbrella, right? So
yeah, I mean, Bob likes his in-house fights, and like I said, I mean, it's just more or less.
I don't think we even gonna get Valdez Herring, man, because Herring I think might be too dangerous for Valdez.
And also, it seems like Valdez, and also I feel like technically he might deserve like a little, just a little warm up, a little, light touch for what he's been through. So I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
His light touch was the last fight.
Everybody was like, "Well, show us the boogeyman." Come on now, that was not a light touch.
Nah, it was a light. Well, if it wasn't
technically,
a light touch,
yeah, you're right. Technically,
how come that was his easiest fight?
In the past 3-4 years, in the past couple years, he probably
start spewing his anti-Burchell spew. Nah, stop.
No. So that was Oscar Valdez's easiest fight.
Probably not.
It wasn't by design.
Yeah.
Hey, I swear that's not one of his easiest fights. So like he had his easy fight. Like now he wants a hard fight. Nah. I mean now he wants an easy fight. Nah. Get in there with Herring. See, they looking at Herring now. They're looking at like, okay, that reach. See, they're gonna start remembering all the tall guys that gave Valdez some trouble, and they're gonna think about Herring now. So when they think about,
I used to mention that Burchell saw something in Herring's style that he didn't like. I always said that, like,
he saw an awful lot.
He saw awful lot. Like, that's why he was like, he was good. I mean, let's say, because he changed his trajectory. Like, you can't be changing your actual trajectory and thinking that's what's going to happen. Oh, speaking of that, I almost got to mention with Frampton.
Okay, we're about to go into weirdo territory.
Yeah,
let's go. Let's hear it.
Yeah, with Frampton now losing by knockout. Now the cipher has been completed. Now, me and P, we've always mentioned too. Like at one time ago, Rigo was the 122 lineal champion, and there were 3 fighters that moved into his division that decided, because they didn't like the fight. All 3 of them have said this. They kind of moved around him. They moved fights with each other, and then they moved on, but not with the actual champion himself. And it was blatant fuckery. It was blatant ducking. Like it was incredibly blatant. And one by one, they all
took losses for it.
They all took the losses because they fucked up their career trajectory.
But y'all was keeping tabs on the knockouts, even though y'all are ones that always saying the 12-round boxing lessons is worse. But y'all was waiting. Y'all had them on a knockout waiting list.
Well, let's put it this way: Quigg got his comeuppance in the Valdez fight because he came in overweight and got a beating of his life, and then that killed his punch resistance, and he was done in 2 fights afterwards. LSC, after having mid fights, got into one with with someone who has a lot more power than he did, and got iced in his corner with his father watching him. And now Frampton.
Well, listen. Oh, he did lose to Frampton. I mean.
Well, no, that wasn't a comeuppance though. Now Frampton had a comeuppance.
Nigga, we was begging for Gil Santa Cruz to get into a decent fight. The first decent fight he loses. Like,
no,
you don't remember niggas we even saying like he was exposed.
That wasn't a comeuppance fight. You never heard me say that was a comeuppance fight.
Ever. Oh yeah, because I forgot your criteria is some different shit.
So now Frampton sacrifices body parts, his hands and God knows what else, and got knocked out by someone who does not have a 50% KO ratio and got badly beaten. So that completes the cipher. You cannot change your career trajectory. Burchell changed his, they changed theirs, and eventually the boxing gods will catch up to you. It's not weirdo shit. This is all boxing.
Yeah, it is. Them niggas been lost. Y'all talking about a duck that niggas already took losses for afterwards just to say, okay, they all got knocked out.
Well, let's put it this way: Quigg and Frampton are done. LSC is still, we're waiting to see what he's actually going to do.
LC is probably done as well. Like
there we go. You say the world must stay balanced and shit.
And they all took losses. Like I ain't like niggas was really like on some KOs aren't a big deal. And I want to see these guys knocked out. Like that's weirdo shit.
And Rigo is still an active fighter, even at the tender age of 47.
Hold on, so Rigo got ducked, and then he called somebody out, and then he got stopped. So
isn't Rigo fighting too? Who's he fighting? I saw something about Rigo fighting coming up.
And he about to get stopped in his next fight.
Wait, who's he fighting?
Yeah, but that's not karma. That's not karma. That's his fight.
Nah, Rigo caught his own karma with Loma though.
Yeah, because he quit in that fight. I mean, that's he took that fight from.
And that's worse than getting knocked out.
Yeah, I mean that's his own fuck up, but it's not But
yeah, that's boring me for years on boring my eyes to bleed and shit.
Yeah, well, this nigga doesn't like Cuban fighters like that, so that's the thing.
No, I don't like boring motherfuckers.
I'm gonna tell you.
I got a whole bunch of fucking Cuban niggas.
Nah. Even though theoretically Rigo is the guy you should like because he actually caves in people's faces.
He got power.
He does it in the most boring way. Like,
how do you boringly cave in someone's face?
Because you let these niggas, Cause you fucking let them plod after you, and then you just maneuver a little slowly to the left and right in a circle. You crack them with a right hook or a left.
He gets him good though. He does get him good though.
he hits him hard, but then it's like, okay, finish him after that. Not no, okay, 12 more rounds of this shit. So it's like you call out another nigga with you know 2 Olympic gold medals, and then everybody finally gives you the attention you want because you was blackballed or whatever the fuck, you know, you was Cuban linked.
He was moving up. Was he moving up 1 weight class or 2? I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember.
2.
So I mean, I did hear some people say Loma about making him move up 2 weight classes. But
If you're so skilled, weight classes don't mean.
I mean, Rigo asked for it, so you can't really say that.
Yeah. Loma outclassed him, regardless of the other. So yeah, Loma showed the levels to it. You're right about that.
Yeah, and of course, and you know, that was the fight where it's like, you know, everyone was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a technical masterpiece," and it ended up being one of the worst fights of the year, and you hated to see it on so many.
I don't know who wanted the only people like the people who wanted to see Rigondeaux Loma, the same people who wanted to see Golovkin Ward. The same 15 people. The same 15 people who wanted to see that.
Damn, I wanted to see Rigo Loma. Don't
you wanted to see Golovkin too, right?
I mean, it was intriguing. It was intriguing.
Yeah, you wanted to see it.
Don't box me. Don't box me. And I never said I wanted to see Ward Golovkin.
I'm asking you now.
No.
Did you want to see the? Oh, okay.
No,
See, you were sounding like, oh, it was interesting. Oh, yeah.
No, I never demanded it. Would I have shooted away? No, but I wasn't demanding it either.
Did you want to see it? Yes or no?
Not really, because it wasn't even.
Yes or no?
No, because I wasn't.
Okay, we good. Cause I hate when niggas be on some yes or no and then motherfuckers start. Well, technically this that. I'm like, well, are you talking yourself into a yes or a no?
It wasn't realistic. That whole thing was not like that. Whole thing was pie in the sky from the beginning. So I never gave it any actual real thought to it.
Oh no. See, okay, because you say that again for the people in the back. Because there's a whole contingency of people who, for some reason, think that fight was supposed to happen, and we missed out on something.
How was Ward gonna fight Golovkin when he was too busy fighting Goosen in court?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, that's what I remembered. Oh, okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah, I used to have jokes for that too.
Son of Goosen.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, man.
But we digress though. But yeah, no.
Harry, we did.
Yeah, but like I said, though, we'll obviously keep our eye on what comes up this. Like I said, 30 days. Herring either gives up his belt and we don't know what he's gonna do with it, or he actually goes through with the Shakur fight in the fight, and and it's a good fight.
Real quick, you mind if I ask a question in regard to this?
Oh, go ahead, man.
Mm-hmm.
Would you favor Herring between either guy, between Shakur or Valdez? Would you give Herring a chance, or you think
against Shakur? Probably. Shakur. The experience with Shakur is there. But I
think he could drop both. But if we're talking about winning, he has a better chance against Valdez.
Yeah.
Although
I do agree.
Although most people seem to disagree with that because we ran a poll for that, and like most people picked like Valdez over Herring. I'm like, what the?
Bro, I can't read his comments. People are thinking Shakur will quote unquote run around against Valdez, like he'll run away, then the fake Floyd Mayweather shit. I'm like, it'd be a great fight. That would be definitely a great fight.
Because Shakur Stevenson need more fights where he's just beating guys down. Like, every time he gets somebody who's a little threat, like, how people be like, whoa, Golovkin's gonna start jabbing him. Shakur starts moving.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he does.
Everybody has their own autopilot shit.
I feel like he could put him away, but he just doesn't. He just, I don't know. He's on his.
He's done it before. He's put people away.
Yeah, that's
not
the thing.
lately.
Didn't he put somebody away in his last fight? Or am I? Oh no, he didn't.
And in the bubble, he did too.
Yeah, in the bubble he did. Yeah, but I don't think
he's put people away. So I don't know why we're acting like he doesn't have any power and that he can't.
Because the thing is, when he fights people who are supposed to give him a little test, he plays it safer. And it's like, dude, you still got more talent than him, and you still got speed, footwork. Like, you could have footwork, move in and out, and beat somebody's ass. We seen Pacquiao have a career for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, like Joe, like was it Joanne Gonzalez? He could have put Joanne. I feel like he could have put Joanne Gonzalez away.
Yeah, if all the
He
fights,
didn't try to put him away. He could have put hands on him.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
Just because he's smashing his sister, he decided to take it easy.
yeah, out of all the fights, that was the one I think I was the most disappointed at because that was supposed to be his signature fight. That was supposed to be the fight where because it had everything, like had the drama, had like the racism.
And Joanne Gonzalez, he's no scrub. He could box.
Yeah,
they was talking a whole lot of ish for nothing.
Everything, and it's like he laid a fucking egg, and it's like, and if y'all don't know, if people don't understand what I'm saying, there's a difference between which fight is more replayable. I'm sure Mayweather looked so superior to Baltimore,
yeah.
but I'd rather see Vernon Forrest fight with Baltimore.
Vladimir, bro.
Baltimore, what the fuck?
Lord Baltimore.
Was it in the timeline? Did Floyd? Do you think Floyd avoided Paul, or was it just not in the cards? I'm just wondering what y'all think about that.
I can't wait. Hold up, but Baltimore. I can't even remember the last time I watched a Baltimore fight and enjoyed it. He's like
The Forrest fight. If you wanted to see Baltimore get his ass without him pulling a miracle win, or
Baltimore in and of himself is unenjoyable to watch.
dude, the Gotti fights, the Zab fights, it's like, look, man, like jobber upsets are like exciting in boxing. Like
They are.
Like it don't have to be a great fight, but just the fact that like, oh shit, like they got a chance, they in this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shit. Even the Gail Truax one, I was like, oh shit, like
that was it was actually a decent fight too.
That's what I'm saying. So like, come on, man.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things. Yeah, but yeah, it's just. I mean, Vernon Forrest and Baltimore was a.
The Vernon Forrest was throwing fucking bombs on
Yeah.
Carlos.
Yeah, real bombs. Like, that shit was.
Goodness. Like, well, Floyd was dancing with him and all that shit. And I know people be like, oh, he hurt his hand. Yeah. Cool.
It was still a shitty fight.
It was still a shitty fight.
Yeah.
Because people always say, like, I hate when people act like somebody hurt their hand, but they'll hurt their hand in, like, the 6th or 7th round. And it's like.
Last time I remember, didn't Canelo beat the Ghost of Baltimore, too? I was like.
He knocked him out.
Yeah, he iced him.
Yeah, I was gonna say he iced the Ghost of Baltimore. I'm like, oh, okay, good riddance.
Yeah, but see, I mean, he was already done by that time. Like, no one cared.
That's why I said the Ghost of Baltimore.
So, before we have a comment, from official scorecard Boxing Science. Shakur is very talented and seems as a hard worker, but him saying he's above Benitez maybe dislike him for that insanity.
Which Benitez? Like the one that, like, not boxing Benitez.
Yeah, he said, Shakur is that same Benitez who was beating all-time greats at your age. Is Joel a future all-time great? Yeah, so he's talking about Wilfred Benitez, and Benitez.
He said that.
I honestly,
I've never heard him say that. I'm intrigued. Now I gotta look that up because I have a hard time believing he said that. But
because
Benitez said that's blasphemy.
Yeah, we need to fact check that. Like that's wow. Like,
because Benitez was a wonderkind. Obviously by the time he was 24, he was finished, and there's a whole bunch of factors of how he got finished. But Benitez was an all-time.
But you got to start somewhere to be finished.
Yeah,
exactly. We're still waiting for Shakur to start.
Yeah, exactly. That's facts. That's real talk.
So for all you people like the shit on guys who, they have like terrific short careers, it's better than nothing or having no career.
Benitez was in his teens, beating all-time greats, like cleanly beating all-time greats.
You got Benitez. I'm sorry, I'm fucking up names. Fernando Vargas, all them dudes.
Yeah, I'm fact checking it and I can't find anything on that. So I'm like, until I'm not gonna go any further. But I don't know if I can't, confirm that. So
end of the day, Shakur Stevenson need to be in a bigger fight and have a bigger fight performance.
Yeah.
Hopefully that could come against a name, a threat, or somebody. And hopefully Bob could,
hopefully Bob, like I said, I mean,
Put something together.
make the Herring fight, or or make him go up to Valdez or somebody. But something in those three need to click off next, some way, somehow, and for the good of the division.
Yeah, so I guess we could next.
Yeah. So the next fight.